If you give a child a book, how would you finish that sentence? Our parent company, EW Scripps, believes that giving children books can take them to new places and plant the seeds for future success. Unfortunately, many kids just don't have access to quality books, but that is where the Scripps Howard Fund's If You Give a Child a Book campaign steps in. And today we are joined by Meredith Delaney, and she is the Director of Philanthropic Strategies for the Scripps Howard Fund. And we also have Dawn D. Bailey, the principal at Lincoln Heights Elementary School. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks you for having us.
So, Meredith, how long has the campaign been around, and what kind of impact have you been able to make during that time?
Yeah, the If You Give a Child a Book campaign is in its 8th year, and we have been incredibly successful since it started. And in fact, just this past spring, we were able to distribute our 1,000,000th book to a child in need. So we're incredibly appreciative of all of the help of all of our communities that really make this possible.
That is incredible. $1,000,000. Oh my gosh, that's such a huge milestone. How exactly does the campaign work for folks who maybe haven't heard of it before?
Yeah, we are so unique in the fact that we provide books to children in need through Title I schools. So Title I, if you aren't familiar, those are schools where the majority of kids are on free and reduced lunches. And in many cases, they don't have any books in their home. But having books in the home is actually one of the greatest predictors of a child's success, not only in school, but beyond their school years as well. So we know that kids having access to books is incredibly important. A lot of programs that are already out there for childhood literacy really target around like the birth to age 5 target age group. But we found that there was a gap in services. And so that's why we decided to create the If You Give a Child a Book campaign. We say when you give a child a book, you give a child a chance. And by partnering with our Title I schools like Lincoln Heights, we're really able to make a difference in children's lives. And we do that by providing free scholastic book fairs.
And the scholastic book fairs are just so much fun. I remember being a kid and how fun it was to go pick out a book, sometimes a toy too. You know, they always had some really cool things that you could check out. But I think that really just speaks to giving the kids that choice, right? They get to go in and they get to choose whatever book gets them excited. And then that gets them excited about reading too.
Exactly, yes.
Absolutely. Now, Principal Bailey, you have had the scholastic book fairs at the school. I actually had the honor of reading to the very funny kids last year.
Yes.
It was such a
Great
good
word,
time.
funny.
Oh, so funny, so funny. But from your perspective as a principal, what kind of impact do you see? Does it get the kids excited?
Yes, it does, for multiple reasons. As was said, there aren't a lot of books in typical homes. And we don't have a library close to our school. So our teachers are plugging away and using library resources to come into the building, but really to give children an opportunity to build their own reading sources, their own library, their nooks at home is now, it's possible. I don't remember what year we're in. We might be going into year 5.
Oh, that's awesome.
But we started with giving children 2 book selections at the book fair. And if I'm not mistaken, in the spring, it was 5. And so it makes a big difference. We teach the kids to pick books that they want to read. Often they don't get those choices in the classroom. Our reading program says, we're going to read this book with you. We're going to ask you these questions. This is all just for fun. And Scholastic does a great job of providing books of lots of genres, across all genres, and then also titles that are appealing to the children, characters that look like them. So we've got Clifford, you know, the big red dog, but we've also got a character maybe named Mikhayla in a book dealing with something that children deal with on a daily basis. So it's adding literacy opportunities in their home, and again, reading to their siblings, inspiring them. There's nothing wrong with repeated reading. We tell them all the time you can read the book 1,000 times and enjoy it a little bit more each time. So the impact is major.
Absolutely. Now, before we go, I want you, Meredith, to just share how people in the community can support this mission, really, because then other schools like Lincoln Heights Elementary get to benefit from this wonderful program.
Yeah, you can visit wcpo.com/give a book to make a donation. It really makes a tremendous difference in the lives of children in need. And on National Read a Book Day, which is next Wednesday, September 6th, the Scripps Howard Fund is actually matching the first $150,000 in donations. So we feel like that's really going to take us even further than we've ever been before.
That is so exciting, and oh my goodness, it gets me excited like I'm a kid again to go to the Scholastic Book Fair and pick out a couple things to read, but really it's so much deeper than that, and it's really helping these kids. So ladies, thank you both so much for your involvement in this.
Thank you. And thank you to everybody for supporting.
Absolutely.